This episode, as we talked about at the beginning of October with two separate patterns showing a 30% pump to the upside, we literally hit those exact targets on this chart and this chart, but there is one thing that has happened on these three patterns that has yet to happen on this, and it predicts if Bitcoin is actually heading to the downside. Guys, even though we hit our 30% pumpage target to the upside, the run is not over just yet until this thing happens, and we're going to be spending the episode showing you what that is and what the pullback target would be. And we're going to be going over why Bitcoin is literally the biggest story I've ever seen, and it may hit $1 million and top gold's market cap, guys. In my opinion, absolutely inevitable, but we're going to be going into some bone-chilling statistics. And at this very moment, Bitcoin is literally holding the exact level of where the previous top was in 2019. Let's dive in. Welcome back, Pumpy Squad, to this absolutely bone-chilling episode. We have so much to be jumping into in these charts, and yesterday, you guessed it, guys, we had one of the most absolutely bullish closes in Bitcoin's price in history. In fact, it was absolutely massive. Bitcoin set an absolutely record-breaking monthly close, and as well, we have the weekly close today as well, you guys. This is absolutely insane. So much hanging in the balance for Bitcoin on these charts right now. And specifically, is this run over? Because we've gotten that 30% pump that we talked about all the way at the very beginning of October, right? All of that played out exactly, and it was actually showing on a few different charts that we have here. So we're going to be analyzing and oogling these charts to see if this pump is actually over. Are we due for a retracement? And what in tarnation is happening to these altcoins, guys? Absolute destruction without a doubt. So as well, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you get updated when we upload absolutely groundbreaking content like this, guys. And as well, as always, make sure to drop your comment and subscribe to enable yourself to win a ledger, an equivalent in BTC, or access to T4. And as well, guys, a free trading tutorial is up on T4, so if you haven't checked it out, make sure to go below and watch the free video. Insane. So guys, Bitcoin is literally right now testing basically the high of 2019. You can see right here, this green bar is completely where the current price action is. I can move the green bar so you can see, but that's literally where it's at right now. And if we zoom all the way back, might actually have to go to the daily chart to get enough data on the screen here. No? Okay, we did it. So you can see this is literally the tippy top of that price action back in June of 2019, June 26th to be specific. Absolutely massive, guys. And as you can see, I mean, it's pretty wild. So let's go all the way back to where we were. And that's literally where Bitcoin's price is trading right at this very moment. Look at this, guys. Unbelievable. So we're at a decisive moment right now, and specifically this is the part of the video everyone came here for. This is extremely interesting. But before we get into that, guys, obviously insane monthly close. Everyone's talking about this, but it should be talked about because it's absolutely insanely bullish. And we're going to get a weekly close. This is the monthly chart, and we're going to be getting a weekly close in just about 8 hours at the time of me recording this, so very, very shortly. And if we get a weekly close anywhere above 13,000 US dollars, this will be the highest weekly close that we've had pretty much since January 15th of 2018, guys. So a lot of things to get excited about. And on this weekly chart, there is still the potential to run higher. But what's most important is this, guys. So this 2.5 month symmetrical triangle we talked about, and we were talking about a breakout 30% to the upside to about 14,100 roughly back here at the beginning of October. And guys, looking at this chart, we've literally basically hit the exact target. We were off by maybe like $100 here, but for the most part, this pattern completely broke to the upside. And we were saying the same thing here showing on this chart, which every time we had a 21-day go across the 50-day moving average here for Bitcoin on its daily chart, it pumped at least 30% the last 3 times for the entirety of 2020. And most recently at the beginning of October, this was the 4th time. We got that cross right here back about October 13th. And we, in fact, did get a 30% pump to the upside, just like we talked about at the beginning of October for weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's huge. But now, what is to come, right? Because basically what we said would happen weeks ago did happen, but now what is next? Well, super importantly, every time during that run before we actually hit 30%, what we did actually was come back to the 21-day moving average for support and continued up. Now, guys, of the last 3 times, this time back in August, this time back in May, and then this time back in January and February, all 3 of those times before it hit 30%, it actually came back down to the 21-day moving average first, and then continued upwards, but then again came back to that 21-day multiple times before actually going below it and getting another bearish cross, with the 50-day actually going above the 21-day, the opposite of the bullish cross that we were highlighting for the last few months. But what's different this time, of the last other 3 times this year in 2020, what's different this time is that Bitcoin has not come down to that 21-day moving average one single time. So if we look here, back in January, you see it came back here, January 21st, okay? Almost came back to it here in February, but we won't count that. But then again, it came back here in February, okay? And same thing here. Before it reached that 30%, all the way up here, actually went to 50% on this one. So at least 30%, but up to about 52% at the height. This, you see it came back to that 21-day multiple times, many times, but then ultimately you can see that bearish cross with the green going below or above the blue. Same thing here. Before we reached that 30% here back in August 17th, we came back to this 21-day moving average multiple times, guys. Now, what you see with this time, the one difference you see here is that we have not come down to that 21-day moving average at all. We've been significantly above it this entire time. Now, right now, the very bottom of this 6-month channel is actually exactly where that 21-day moving average is, which is roughly 12,600, and I could see that actually rounding off to about 12,500 as well, being just as relevant. But we have not seen that just yet. So what's interesting to note, of the last other 3 times, the entirety of 2020, every time on this daily chart that we've had these crosses, it has used the 21-day moving average as a crutch before breaking that 30%. But we've done 30% gains this time without coming down to that 21-day moving average at all. So basically what I'm looking for, if we're actually going to shift downwards, guys, if we go below 13,000 US dollars and come anywhere near 12,600, and we come down to this 21-day moving average, then I think we're in store for some much bigger downside, or at least prolonged sideways trading or prolonged downside, right? And that, in my opinion, will indicate that we're completely out of juice for the time being. But guys, we haven't seen that just yet. So that's what's really interesting about this chart, is that this is the only time in the year 2020 out of 4 bullish crosses on the daily chart that we have not even bothered with the 21-day moving average. In fact, we haven't been at the 21-day moving average since October 8th, which was about a week before we even got the bullish cross, which again is not like any of these other charts. That is not what happened on any of these other 3 times that it's happened. So basically what that's saying is this is slightly more bullish, in my opinion, than the other 3 times that it's happened. And in my opinion as well, it does mean that we could actually see further upside for Bitcoin's price. So basically, when I'm going to get bearish in the short term, because ultimately I'm insanely bullish long term, is if we come back down to this 21-day moving average. Simple as that. Basically, if we revisit this 21-day moving average around 12,500 at the time of recording this, then I think we're going to see prolonged downside, and at the very least prolonged sideways trading and a halt to setting new highs. We have not seen that. So for the most part, we have to remain pretty bullish, in my opinion here, because every time Bitcoin has come down to that 21-day moving average in 2020, it has ended up going below it. Okay, so every time we've had a bullish cross and we've come back down to the 21-day moving average at any point after that bullish cross, we have ended up going below it and actually setting a bearish cross, with this green 50-day moving average going above the 21-day moving average, which is bearish. And as well, guys, super importantly, this is the $400 billion level, which Bitcoin is less than, it's only a few $1 million actually away from 400 billion yet again. We've been pretty much hugging this for the past few weeks, ever since like the first few weeks of October. I think this is a mistake on this chart because we never went up to 600 billion this month or in 2020. So I'm not sure why this giant candle's on here. I think that has to be a mistake here on the CryptoCap chart here. But yeah, we have not pumped up to 600 billion total market cap at all this year. In fact, the last time we were at 600 billion market cap was just in 2018, just in the first few months of 2018 and the last month of 2017. Wow. So guys, an investor on why Bitcoin is literally the biggest story I've ever seen. Now, this is a hugely important article, and I've highlighted some very key points here. So just to give a preface here, in a recent interview, Raoul Pal said here that digital currencies are literally the biggest story in his career as central banks move towards them. He also stated repeatedly Bitcoin could easily get to $1 million, becoming a $10 trillion asset class, and even surpassing the gold market, which again, in my opinion, is 100% inevitable. I think that is going to happen without a doubt. And in the last year, Bitcoin's price has surged more than 47%. Okay, basically where we're at right now. So according to Paul here, the macro story supporting his thesis is that the economy is about to enter a despair phase, which is part of his view that recessions unfold in 3 distinct phases that culminate in a prolonged period of insolvency. He said it's likely to maintain a negative for longer than people expect, and that's going to mean the kind of corporate cash flows, household cash flows, are quite impaired, and there's going to be rise of insolvencies, bankruptcies, and that kind of thing. And basically, we're going to skip ahead here, but that's driving down the relative value of fiat currency overall. It's not just a dollar story or a euro story or a pound story, it's everything, right? And that's driving gold higher, and particularly crypto. And again, I think we're going to see a massive surge in crypto that we've never seen before. Basically, what it is referring to is the option of fiscal stimulus directly. They can also tax you or give you negative interest rates, all of those things, but basically we don't know what that world is, and Bitcoin gives us an option out of that we've never had before. We didn't have that option back in 2008, right? Again, why Bitcoin was basically created was in a reaction as a response to 2008. Now we have this option. And he said here, he argued that a future where central banks issue digital currencies makes Bitcoin a legitimate part of the system. What it does is revolutionize the global financial system by creating the Internet of Money, where the various systems will connect and speak with each other, like Apple's iOS and Google Android. That connection of all systems is coming. Okay. In his view, Bitcoin plays a role as the world's most pristine reserve asset. It's an incredible asset, and it's the only one with a limited supply and growing demand, you guys. It's an extraordinary thing. So again, one of the reasons I love making videos about Bitcoin every day and preaching about it, because I am 100% convinced that this is going to be the future, and that we haven't seen even the beginning of the money that is going to come into Bitcoin and into cryptocurrency as a whole. Huge, guys. So if you're new to the channel, as always, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications and leave your comment below to enter. And as well as try and hit 1,200 likes in this video, and then we can smash it up and give one of these away in the next video, 1,200 likes. And as well, guys, make sure to check out our free trading tutorial below. Trading tutorial, basically how to use trading sites. And as well, guys, if you have experience trading and you're interested in supporting the channel, then as well, definitely make sure to sign up with Bybit below. And they're actually currently offering 30% off USDT trading pairs.